Video games aren't just entertainment. Their entire universe is packed with secrets, unexpected accidents, and billion-dollar success stories.
This will be enough to solve problems and get the platform up. That's exactly what I want. Anyway, the longer and faster this all goes on...
They've shaped cultures, inspired generations, and even changed the way we think about technology and storytelling. Today, we're diving into 7 of the most fascinating video games ever made. And along the way, you'll discover some surprising facts you probably never knew. Stick around, because some of these stories will absolutely blow your mind. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing stories. Let's start with a modern classic that became much bigger than anyone could have ever imagined. Minecraft. This game isn't just popular, it's a global phenomenon. With over 300 million copies sold, Minecraft has become the best-selling video game of all time, surpassing every other title in history. Unlike most games, which focus on complex graphics and storylines, Minecraft was built around simplicity. Players are dropped into a world made of blocks, with nothing but their creativity to guide them. And yet, this simplicity is what unlocked its power, allowing players to create castles, machines, entire cities, and even working computers inside the game itself.
Secret base there? We just have to follow up and discover it. I mean, it's really important to us.
I'm very curious.
But here's the kicker. One of the most iconic creatures in Minecraft, the Creeper, wasn't designed on purpose. It was actually a mistake. The developer was trying to create a pig, but due to a coding error, the dimensions got mixed up. Instead of deleting it, he decided to turn it into an explosive monster. That mistake ended up becoming one of the most recognizable video game characters of all time.
Reaper, Minecraft Grim Reaper, blowing up blocks like Al-Qaeda. I'm not a creature that'll eat you, but I'll leave you petrified.
Minecraft shows us that sometimes accidents can lead to genius, and that creativity often comes from the most unexpected places. Now, let's go back in time to one of the most influential titles ever made. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Released in 1998 on the Nintendo 64, this game changed gaming forever. It was the first Zelda game to move into 3D, and it introduced the famous Z targeting system, letting players lock onto enemies for smoother battles. But here's the fun fact. This idea didn't come from traditional game design. The developers drew inspiration from samurai movies, where warriors would lock eyes before striking. Ocarina of Time went on to be called one of the greatest games ever made, not just because of its mechanics, but because of the way it immersed players in a world filled with mystery, music, and unforgettable storytelling.
Glimpse of the princess fleeing town on horseback with Ganondorf hot on their heels. Powerless to stop the Gerudo King from giving further chase, he takes the ocarina.
Speaking of simple but revolutionary ideas, let's talk about Tetris. Imagine creating a game so addictive and universal that it spread across the world during one of the most politically divided times in history, the Cold War. Tetris was created in 1994 by Alexei Pashitnov, a Soviet programmer working in Moscow. The idea was simple: fit falling blocks into neat lines. The name Tetris itself is a combination of tetra, meaning 4, and tennis, which was Pajitnov's favorite sport. At first, the game was just passed around locally, but soon it escaped the Iron Curtain and became a global sensation. Its brilliance was in its simplicity and the way it challenged the human brain. It's been said that people became so hooked on Tetris that they experienced the Tetris effect, where they would start to see falling blocks in their minds even when they weren't playing. That's the power of a simple idea executed perfectly. It doesn't just entertain, it rewires the way we think. Next, let's dive into Pokémon Red and Blue, the games that started a cultural revolution. Released in 1996, these titles introduced the world to Pikachu, Charmander, Bulbasaur, and hundreds of other creatures that would go on to dominate global pop culture. But the inspiration behind Pokémon is more personal than most people realize. The creator, Satoshi Tajiri, loved collecting insects as a child. He spent hours outdoors catching bugs and studying them, and he wanted players to feel that same sense of wonder when discovering and collecting Pokémon. That simple childhood passion turned into one of the most successful franchises in history, spawning trading cards, TV shows, movies, toys, and even competitive tournaments. What's amazing is how that innocent idea, wanting kids to experience the thrill of catching and collecting, sparked a multi-billion-dollar empire. Pokémon Red and Blue weren't just games, they were the beginning of a global movement. And even today, new generations are still experiencing that same joy of trying to catch them all. Now, if we're talking about iconic games, we have to mention Super Mario Bros. Released in 1985. This game didn't just become popular, it literally saved the video game industry. After the crash of 1983, many believed gaming was just a passing fad. But then Mario arrived and changed everything. Super Mario Bros. Became a massive hit, revitalizing Nintendo and putting video games back into households across the world. But here's a fun little twist. When Mario first appeared in Donkey Kong, he wasn't even a plumber. He was actually a carpenter. It wasn't until Nintendo introduced pipes and underground levels that Mario officially became the plumber we know today. What's also fascinating is how much of Mario's design came from limitations. The overalls were added so players could easily see his arms move, and the mustache was added because drawing a mouth with such few pixels was too difficult. Out of these restrictions came a character design so timeless that Mario is now more recognizable worldwide than even Mickey Mouse. That's the kind of impact Mario had. He didn't just save the industry, he defined it. Fast forward to today, and Fortnite dominates the modern era. Within its first 2 years, it made over $9 billion. But what makes it truly fascinating isn't just the money, it's the culture it created. Fortnite became more than a battle royale. It became a stage for events, social hangouts, and even concerts. The most iconic moment? Rapper Travis Scott's live in-game show, which drew over 12 million players. That's more than most stadiums on Earth combined. Fortnite blurred the line between games and entertainment, showing that virtual worlds can be just as impactful as real ones. Finally, let's talk about Among Us. Released quietly in 2018, it was almost forgotten. Then 2020 hit. With people stuck at home, Among Us exploded in popularity, filling streams, videos, and friend groups with chaos and laughter. Inspired by the party game Mafia, but set in space, it turned suspicion into fun. Its biggest legacy? Making the word sus part of everyday language. Among Us reminded us that games don't need massive budgets or graphics. Sometimes all you need is friends, trust, betrayal, and a little paranoia. So, which of these video game stories surprised you the most? Was it the accidental creation of the Minecraft creeper, Mario's unexpected career as a carpenter, or Fortnite's billion-dollar transformation into a virtual universe? Each of these games shaped culture in its own unique way, proving that video games aren't just entertainment. They're powerful stories, cultural touchstones, and sometimes accidents that change the world. Let me know your favorite fun fact in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of gaming.